What's going on, guys? Want to Mess here, back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today I'll be continuing my weekly Platinum Arena Reset series, talking about last 15 minutes, offense, defense, what I do well, what I do poorly, etc. Let's jump right into it. So right off the bat, we're seeing Siphi, Duchess, Tormin, plus a Candrafon. You'll see there, this is something that I've talked about trying to do better with, using the Necrit ally attack to actually do something instead of just leaving him on auto. And you'll see there, I actually am able to hit the Duchess and proc her Swift Parry. Then I'm able to strip it off, nuke with Trunda, much faster fight than if my Trunda nuke had just procced it afterwards. So we're seeing here Siphi, Duchess, Ursuga with Hegemon. We're seeing last week and this week a pretty big resurgence of Ursuga. More and more people getting reaction accessories. People are running like a really slow Ursuga in reaction. So kind of like the biggest counter to Ursuga pre-reaction accessories was Trunda just using her A2 on her, right? People build Ursuga with very high health. Trunda's A2 does very well against high health targets. And then if Ursuga died first, she wouldn't be able to protect the allies. But now everybody's running Ursuga with reaction, so if you get unlucky and the Ursuga procs reaction on your A2 hit, then suddenly you do barely any damage to the rest of the team. They're going to take turns, possibly mess you up, possibly force you to lose, etc. So here we see Siphi, Duchess, also kind of a resurgence of Candrafon. I mean, he's kind of always been, since his rework at least, the sort of go-to, like, defensive nuker or attack-based champion. He's kind of like the best one and kind of the only one that really works on defense. But for whatever reason, I personally felt like I saw a lot more of him this week. I think it's fine that I don't think it's fine that he's the only one, but I think it's fine that he exists, right? He can be pretty frustrating if you use a magic-heavy offense team, like myself with Kaimar and Molly, etc., or excuse me, Trunda, etc. But I think it's good that he's there, and I wish that they had some other champions that could fill that role in instead of just him. So here we're seeing CP Duchess, Krisk, Hegemon. This is kind of like an old school defense. You don't normally see like defenses like this anymore, or like this exact defense. Krisk has been kind of out of the defense meta for a little bit. Hegemon has been seeing some resurgence with the new accessories, but just sort of this exact combination is like a little bit dated. I don't think it's super good. It's very easily just defended by a shield set, and then your offense can kind of do whatever it wants. So you see here, refreshing quite a bit, and all of my fights are worth like +5 to +7 or so. 12.5 minutes left. I pushed up, and at this exact moment in time, I was in first place. Normally, I don't like pushing this high this early. I started pushing with about an hour left, which is pretty standard for me. And you'll see right there, I actually learned from my previous fight that took a little bit longer. I use the A2 on Necrit when he protects two different people. When it's just one, I think I usually use A3 just to try to kill everybody in one go. But with two different people protected, especially a Duchess, I'm not going to kill that Duchess through the protection. I might be able to kill a Candrafon though. So I pushed up early, and I think some people lost to my non-reset defense and boosted me up a little bit higher and faster than I thought. See, right here, here's what I was talking about with Candrafon. I lose the 65-35. My Kaimar weak hits on Candrafon, so I don't strip him, don't put him to sleep. He gains a bunch of turn meter. He kills my Madam, and then A1's my Kaimar, so it's pretty much just lost from there. I tried to nuke, didn't do enough damage, and gave up on it, so here we see a pretty interesting team. Double Duchess, Ursuga, Rector Draft. So now we're seeing another of those Force Affinity champions that are just so good against the current Trunda offense meta. And again, once again, like I talked about, Ursuga, very slow, most likely in reaction accessories. So you'll see, I probably should have brought in a slightly different team here. This was just kind of my comfort team during reset. Kaimar, Necrit, Madam, Trunda. This was the team I was very comfortable with. I was running for pretty much the whole night. I think I very rarely deviate from it. So I just figured, hey, this team can win against the enemy team, so why would I change anything? But realistically, I should have just been like, I should have looked at the team better and realized, hey, there's no threat here. It's just double Dutch. It's just revivers with an Ursuga, right? So I should have brought in a more offensive. I should have taken the initiative rather than trying to be safe. I should have brought in an Arbiter. I should have brought in possibly another damage dealer, something to help kill them faster. So 45 seconds is definitely on the slower end. So here we're seeing, I believe this is the exact same team. Yes. So the Necrit, somewhat quick, gets off another protection. So I adjust. I use the A2 here. I proc the Swift Parry on Duchess, proc the Swift Parry on Candrafon. And something that I've been talking about doing better with is actually using Necrit's ally attack for my own benefit. I was kind of leaving him on auto too much, which there's nothing wrong with that, but instead of doing his ally attack, he will prioritize his A3, the protection, when in reality, since he auto protects my Trunda, I need to make better use of that to either, one, possibly kill somebody, prevent them from reviving, or number two, proc a Swift Parry before my Trunda does damage to proc it, so that I can either they take a turn and it falls off, or I can possibly strip it off. Who knows? I think I did a lot better of that this week. So again, we're going to see Siphi Duchess, Ursuga, Hegemon, and you do see the reaction proc there on the Ursuga. So definitely good that I opened with the A3 here instead of A2. And you see here, Ursuga and Duchess still have decreased defense on them, and the Siphi doesn't look super tanky, so I make the conscious decision to actually not strip and defense down with my Madam again. I wait until they get off the revive. Unfortunately, they do revive Ursuga before I'm able to hit them, but I feel like that was a pretty... I don't know, it feels weird to say like things about myself in a video, but I think that was pretty smart of me to do that. I think I played very intelligently on offense this week, but I just wasn't quite fast enough. I was taking fights that I knew I could win for the most part, and I was smart about them, but it just wasn't quite enough. So, see, here we're actually attacking that same Candrafon team. I bring Krisk in instead of Necrit here to try to protect against... that Candrafon, because Krisk offers way more shields, but the downside is that I don't have that protection specifically for my Trunda, especially the block debuffs. We see right there, Siphi actually sleeps her, and I'm thinking, oh man, I'm in big trouble. But luckily for me, the Sandlash Survivor actually uses her AoE ability, wakes her up, I nuke him, not too much issue. But I make a pretty conscious, or I have a pretty, like, I have a thought in my head, like, probably don't hit that person again. That was not... I lost the first fight. The second fight could have gone very poorly if I had not gotten woken up there. So I make the decision. I click in here for Frozen, that same person. I back out because I know it's a bad fight. You see, I'm kind of somewhat spamming the refresh here, trying to find, number one, a non-mad player. Number two, somebody that I think I can win against. And here's where I make probably, like I think this is my last mistake, like big mistake I make on offense of the night. I attack a triple revive team along with a warlord, and so I didn't fight this person again. So you'll see my Kymar actually stripped the warlord, but he didn't sleep him. So the warlord was able to take a turn, use his A2 ability, the shield. So then by the time he eventually takes another turn, because it's triple revive, stun, swift parry, whatever, he locks me out. I'd have to fight this person again to get a better idea of like my Kymar's accuracy versus the warlord to see if I got unlucky there or if we were just kind of pretty close to each other's numbers. But I get locked out 40 something seconds. I back out. I realize it's not worth my time anymore. So kind of going back to hitting, I think this is the exact same person. The Siphi, Duchess, Necrit, Candrafon team. Once again, somewhat quick Necrit. He puts on another protection on Duchess. I A2 the Necrit instead. Reset, strip, nuke again. And overall, I think it's pretty quick win here. 25, yeah. 25 is... Anything over 30 is probably... It's definitely not slow, but it's definitely not a fast win. So, sub 30 I'm very happy with. So now here we're seeing actually a very defensive team, but once again, using those Force champions with Rector Drath to... I believe she had reaction accessories and I believe my Trunda weak hit. And there's a double weak hit from Trunda. You see, this is my Savage Trunda, admittedly with no increased attack, but... Rectordeath has decreased defense on, and I double weak hit, and I barely scratched her. That's why kind of force champions are so strong and prevalent in the meta right now. And you'll see there I use my Trunda's A2 to try to finish off Rectordeath. And I weak hit, do almost nothing, but luckily 39 seconds, she didn't quite get back to her revive. So about 5 minutes left, getting down to the crunch time. I was streaming during this, obviously, and I was watching chat, and I think I'm still in first place for now, but people are kind of catching up to me. Another team using Kandrafon, right? Sifi Duchess, Kandrafon, Hegemon. Luckily for me, no Swift Parry procs, 10-second fight, pretty good. Another Kandrafon team, so I think maybe I was just specifically trying to hit these teams because I knew I could protect my Trunda and go for the win. So we see here, unfortunately, Rectordeath proc Swift Parry, and I don't actually kill the Duchess with my Trunda's A3 there, so that's why she's still healed up. Now we see here I learned the error of my ways. You think that after however many losses I've had to Vogoth teams, how many times I've fought them, etc., you think I'd know better just to always A2 them, but I tried to open with an A3 because I've been trying to use Trunda's A3 more, and it backfired on me a little bit. 35 seconds, once again. Over 30 isn't bad, but it's just not quite fast enough. But still, getting a win and not a loss is the most important part. So we're seeing here, this is, I believe, the same person from before. Yeah, Sifi Duchess, Kandrafon with a Hegemon. Again, I feel like after that one fight I had with that Kandrafon, I feel like I got pretty lucky with my Kaimar's Sleep RNG versus them. We just reset, strip, nuke again, Swift Parry procs on Kandrafon. Finish him off should be 24, 23, 40, 23 seconds. Not bad. Down to the last 3.5 here. Again, I think I'm just refreshing. I'm not even looking at the bottom of the page anymore because it's all MAD members. There's nobody really for me to hit down there. So I'm just kind of looking at the top of my list, which are people, unfortunately, that aren't worth a ton of points. But since I'm high ranking, I need to take what I can get. And once again, a 12-second fight versus that person. No Swift Parry proc, so that is a little bit lucky. Now, I make the decision, hey, this person, I got a 10-second fight on them, a 12-second fight on them. I'm like, I'm going to try to just spam them, right? But I refresh, what is that, 5 or 6 times, and I don't see them again, so I realize, like, it's probably not worth my time to keep trying that. So I pick a fight here. And unfortunately, I know better than this. I know this person's account. I've seen them before and I've hit them, and it doesn't always go well for me. So you see here, Warlord got revived. He just locked me out. But I feel like I kind of have a shot here still. I usually don't like to just give up immediately the second I get locked out. And you see here, my Necrit actually managed to resist the Warlord. So I'm kind of thinking, hey, maybe there's a shot. Maybe we're fast enough. And right here, luckily, I don't weak hit on the Rectordeath. And my Trunda kills her, so there's no more revive. So I put it on auto, and I just know, hey, I'm not going to lose this. I just need to try to win quickly. So we're almost hitting a minute here. Overall, pretty poor, but getting that win instead of backing out for a loss. It's not always the right choice to stick in here, but I feel like I kept it, low 1 minute. I think it was still correct. Minute 9, I think it was okay. But kind of going back to what I talked about earlier, I just wasn't quite fast enough. So now here I see a Tau member, Yu-Gi-Oh! He runs like a speed team, and I know for a fact that I'm faster than him. So I bring in my Arbiter, my Kaimar is speed tuned, strip, nuke with Trunda, 8 seconds, nice and fast. And I think, okay, he's a +7 for me. I can refresh a bunch, find him, spam him. Unfortunately, 5, 6 times? It takes me 5 or 6 tries to find him again. I don't know exactly how, like, the refresh RNG or whatever you want to call it works. I feel like probably a little bit unlucky to refresh that many times. And now you're seeing here, I'm doing it again. I'm 5 right here, 6, I think, 7 refreshes, 8. And we're down to literally the last minute, 9, 10 refreshes, I think. Over 10 refreshes trying to find him. I just can't find him. Pushing 15 here, I believe. And I finally make the choice. I have less than a minute left. I need to hit somebody, try to get a win. So I think I may have hit this exact team earlier, but it's a like a double force team with Candrafon. I know I'm not going to lose to it because the only sort of like lose condition with this team is if my Trunda dies, and I know that with Necrit protecting her, it's not going to happen. A little bit unlucky there. I believe I double weak hit with my Trunda. Rectordrath gets off the revive, and so I'm just kind of trying to beat the clock here. I'm literally down to like the last couple of seconds. I get off the nuke. Once again, Swift Parry procs on the Candrafon. Counter-attacking is just burning seconds, these precious seconds at the last moment. He finishes off Kymar, 43 seconds here, and you'll see right here at the end, it gives me a +7 instead of a +20, which means that I got it in probably at like the last literal second. So I go check the tiers, and I do in fact place 3rd this week. So it says 3rd, but we confirmed with somebody in my clan that myself and somebody in my clan tied for 3rd place, and there was no 2nd place. So somebody else took 1st. Technically, we were tied for 2nd or 3rd. I don't know why Plarium's client or whatever chose to give us both 3rd instead of 2nd. Who knows? But overall, 3rd this week. I've had the past 2 weeks I was in the top 10, now 3rd place while streaming every single week. Very proud of it, very happy. Hopefully I can bring back another 1st place in the near future. So somebody asked last week, that was my defense, Sifi, Duchess, Warlord, Torment. I think I just flashed by it pretty quick. Here's my defense log. So you'll see that last hit from Gogol actually didn't count. It gives me a -20, but you'll see I'm just getting hit by a lot of Sifi double rotos here. It's a very safe offense right now. Couple of variations using like a Sifi plus a Valkyrie. Obviously I run Sifi on my own defense, so Valkyrie is very good against me. But overall, pretty happy with my defense log. I wasn't getting hit too much, but towards the end there, obviously it's all losses by people who are confident that they can beat me 100% of the time, and they're in tout, so they're trying to lower me down. Okay, everyone, thank you once again for watching my weekly Platinum Arena Reset video. I'm very glad to have brought a fresh top 3 in. Felt pretty good this week. Felt confident on offense that I was taking good fights, making good decisions. I just got to speed it up a little bit. So, once again, thank you everybody who keeps watching these videos. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, etc. I really appreciate all of it, all that YouTube stuff. And I will hopefully see you again soon for a new video. Peace.